Hello everyone, Felipe here again here with Daniel. Today we're going to keep working with attacks from side control and attacks in transitions. We're going to actually show a variation to the position that we saw yesterday. Okay, the bread and butter choke. Today we're going to show a variation from that situation. It's one of my favorite attacks, so hope you guys like it. Let's start already. Nice to see everyone. Moving the head sideways. Up and down. Circling the head, everyone. Both sides. The other arm. Hips. Okay, people. Down and reach. 10 times inside. And hip escape. 10 times inside, everyone. And going to the turtle. And back stepping. Also 10 times inside. And switching the base, pushing the leg through. Tight. Weight on your elbow. Also 10 times inside. Rolling back and forth, we pull over the shoulder. Pay attention to end up in the same line. Hips down. Forward again. Watch the head. 5 times inside, back and forth. And to finish the solo drills, just some technical stand up. Up. Bring the hand back and down. Pay attention to keep your foot behind your hand so you can have a good base when you come up. 5 times each side, everyone. And let's go to the partner drills. Okay, people, so we're just going to move side to the side, just like we've been doing since, 3 classes ago. Okay, just switching the base. When you switch the base, pressure on your opponent, not chilling like this. I want to be active. Okay, I'm going to go to the north-south, so I'm going to take a big step over the head, together with the leg, both the elbow under the armpit. I'm going to fit both elbows on the armpit, chest to the chest. I'm going to cross my elbow over her body so I can do my back step and end up on the other side without losing my control, going to the cross face again. Just moving from one side to north, south, and back to the other side. Pay attention, everyone, to keep yourselves heavy at all times. Chest over the chest. Okay? Never lose contact with your opponent. You don't have to be fast. What is important for you is to be tight. Okay? So follow the steps correctly. I showed this with more details like 3 classes ago. So if you still need some guidelines on that, just check it out. The previous videos. You're gonna find the details there. 3 minutes and then you're gonna switch. Okay, people, and I just got a complaint that we're repeating the same drill over and over, but it's important because this is one of the drills that people struggle the most. Okay, so I'm gonna emphasize you guys to practice this one more than the other ones, actually. Okay, because you guys are gonna need this a lot when you're trying to control your opponent. So basically, is defending the underhook. When she gets the underhook, I step behind the head, my knee behind the back, the elbow in front of the belly. I'm going to keep myself heavy, and I'm going to do a back step without losing the control on my opponent. If you need, you can also push your opponent's shoulders so they cannot turn. I'm going to go back to the side control. I'm going to let them turn to me and get the underhook again, and do the same, stepping behind the head, elbow in knee drop, back step, can push your shoulder to increase my pressure, going back to the side control. We're doing this a lot for a reason, people. This is the one that people struggle the most, and this is one of the most important. So guys, I know that you've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes it's not the most interesting thing in the world, but give a little bit of attention to this. You guys are gonna need it, okay? So just following the steps. 1, 2, 3. And here guys, as you get more comfortable, connecting them faster, okay? So you guys can keep your position. 3 minutes and then you switch, and then we go to the variation that I promised. All right, everyone, so now what we're going to do is a variation from the bread and butter choke that we saw yesterday. And Daniel's gonna attempt the choke and get the arm. So it's going to play the same way. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check the last class in which we talk about the bread and butter choke. You guys are gonna find the details there. So Daniel's gonna start here with the cross face. She's gonna set her grips. She's gonna move to the north-south. She's gonna set the other grip. And what is gonna happen, people, if I have enough knowledge, when Dania sets the grip, I know that she wants to go for this choke. So when Dania does the transition and try to bring her arm in, I'm gonna start blocking here. Okay, I'm gonna bring my hand here. And what Dania wants to do is she wants to keep my focus here. Okay, so she's gonna be trying to get the choke either way, push down Dania, and I'm gonna try to block, okay? But the thing is, my arm is already trapped. So what Dania is going to do is, she's going to keep this position, but she's gonna move her shoulder towards my plexus here. Exactly, okay? And she's not gonna give up the choke because she still wants my focus here, okay? Since I am focused here on defending the choke, what Dania is going to do is she's gonna get this arm. So in order to get the arm, the thing is, she's going to use this bottom leg here, in this case, the bottom one? Yes, okay? And she's gonna bring her knee towards my shoulder and the other leg over my head, okay? When she sits, she already has this knee here, okay, under my armpit, blocking my body, and the other leg over my head, so I cannot come up, okay? Now, since she already had my arm isolated in the first place, she's gonna keep her elbow closed so I cannot turn my arm, and as long as she has the shoulder in front of my wrist, I'm not able to grab my own arm and defend. From here, most of the cases, this is gonna be a really tight armbar in which she's going to drop on her shoulder and get an armbar. If during the process, we've seen a situation like this before, if I turn my elbow, the only thing that Dania is going to do is she's gonna use the hand that is free. She's gonna grab my wrist and just finish with the regular armbar and get the submission either way. Okay, what is important for us here, everyone, is that we don't stop insisting with the choke, so we don't, so we can get the arm, because we want our opponent focused on defending the choke, so the arm remains available. Okay, so let's do one more time. So Dania's gonna be here. She's going to grab my collar. She's gonna move to the north-south and attack me with the bread and butter choke. I know what is about to happen. When she switches the position, I'm already here blocking. But the problem is, I'm defending my neck, I'm not tapping, but this hand right here is still exposed. And the problem is, I cannot protect my arm because if I do, she jumps. Okay. Okay. So I have to stay here. So what Dania is going to do right now is, she's gonna keep the weight on my shoulder because I cannot come up. As well, she's pushing herself against my chest. The bottom leg goes to my shoulder, the other leg over my head. When she sits, my arm is already given, okay? I can no longer turn super tight. Keep your elbow tight, your opponent's wrist under your armpit, and from here, you're just gonna drop your shoulder and get the submission. If your opponent manages to stay here, let's say that you don't have enough pressure and your opponent manages to turn the thumb down, you just grab the wrist with your free hand, correct your opponent's arm position, and finish with the regular armbar. Okay? So, one more time. I'm here, Dania sets her grip. Okay, she goes to the north-south. Now she's gonna go to the choke. and I defend the choke. She drops her weight on my chest, she switches to the armbar, and get the submission. All right? This is one of my favorite sequences, everyone, and it is important, guys, that when you do the transition that you keep two things. I insist on keeping the choke, that's very important, but also, and now, I'm sorry, Daniel, you guys, you're going to suffer a little bit. So when I went for the choke here, I went for the choke and she defended. I want to put my weight here, okay? You can look at her face. I want to keep insisting the choke so she defends, and I want to keep my shoulder on her chest so it's very uncomfortable. And then I switch to the armbar, okay? So here, very important that you make this, you make your opponent miserable in that situation so you can do this easy transition to the armbar, okay?
Yeah, when you transition, it's a relief.
Yeah, but then you realize that you're going to tap, so you're sad. I hope. Okay, so guys, you can always switch between you. Try to do both together, okay? Try to repeat the choke that we saw yesterday, the bread and butter, and then combine with this armbar. Those two work super together, so it is a very effective combination that you guys can try. Okay, I hope you enjoy. Let's train people. Okay, everyone, so just working with a specific training here, one of you on top, the other one at the bottom, person on top, trying to get the submission, not losing position. You guys can switch to other control positions. You can start in the side control, move to the knee on bed, and move to the mount, attack from the turtle, whatever happens. Keep your attack and don't let your opponent either end up on top or put you back in the guard. Okay, if any of those situations happen, submission, guard, or your opponent end up on top, start over, and you guys make sure you don't let this happen again. And of course, the person on the bottom, defend yourselves, try to stay tight, and try to get your opponent back in the guard or end up on top. Okay, we're going to do this for 3 minutes, and then you guys switch, and then you can add some rolls to it as well. Okay, so just make sure that you focus on doing the side control. So you get this position on top. It's a very strong one, and I want to see you guys spinning everyone down as we're back. Okay, have fun, take care, guys, enjoy. See you soon. Okay, people, I want to just take a few minutes to talk about a question that I got on Saturday during the live stream from Maria. She was asking about the Kesekatami. Okay, so basically the Kesekatami is a situation that you see happening a lot in judo. Okay, Ronda Rousey in the UFC used that a lot. It's a situation where people have the head, they stay with the base trap, and they're controlling the arm like this, and they're attacking from here. So personally, some people ask, Felipe, why have you never showed this position before? Personally, because I don't like it, okay? The problem with this is you see a lot of people in judo doing this, because basically what I'm doing from here is just pinning my opponent down, okay? So for me to attack, I have some options here to get the armbar and stuff like this, but I'm very limited, okay? When I have this position, it's basically to control, all right? And what is important for us to understand as well, guys, is that if you don't have a really good control with this, if you're not doing a really good job, you're about to lose the position. In Jiu-Jitsu, you don't see many people doing this because you have many options to escape. So personally, I don't recommend this. But if you end up here, okay, what is important for you guys to do is to make sure that you have a full control of your opponent's shoulder. Because, for example, if Dani manages to turn her shoulder, that's the moment where I'm going to be in danger. Either if I have my hip down and she turns her shoulder to me, she's already coming up, trying to take my back, for example, situation. You can bring the hook in from here, Dani. Hook. Exactly. And if this starts happening, I'm about to lose the position. Or another scenario that I see a lot of people doing is they drive themselves up. If Dania has a grip on the bicep and just turn her shoulder to the opposite side, to the left, she's going to be able to drop me as well. So how can I turn this into effective control? Basically, what I want to do is I want to keep my shoulder heavy on her face, and I want to use my arm, my hand behind her tricep. And here, I'm gonna pull her tricep here, her elbow towards my chest, and I'm gonna use this foot to drive my shoulder on her face. Okay, this is a very uncomfortable position. Dani cannot move her shoulder, and I'm gonna be able to control from here. All right, so if you're doing this, your opponent's gonna have a really low possibility of coming up. Dani is suffering from here. Try not to stay with your hip down, because if my hip drops, the weight drops as well. So when you're using this foot on the floor, in this case my left one, to push, elevate your hip a little bit and pull your opponent's shoulder up so you can be effective with this. All right? Again, not saying that this position is bad, but it is, the options that you have from this position are very limited, and that's just my personal opinion. Okay, and I'm not saying that this is bad because I tried this control and it didn't work for me. I'm saying that I don't like this too much because nobody during this 13, 14 years that I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu, nobody was able to hold me in this, okay? So that's why my personal experience with this is not so good, but if you end up in this position, make sure pulling the shoulder and drive yourself with your shoulder on your opponent's face so you can keep the control. All right? Hope I helped. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.